Hi everyone, I'm really excited to welcome you to a special episode of Soul Story, and right now we are here in Bali with Made Murni, who is Balinese yoga teacher here at Yoga Barn. I'm very excited to have this interview with you because I attended Murni's class. Her point of view on yoga really resonated with me. She spent literally 40 minutes adjusting people just, for a simple thank you. I'm really excited for this episode. Let's start with your definition of yoga.
My boss, after years and years working behind the scene, it's like my boss asked me to do yoga. And then I said nope. Yoga is not for me because that is negative thought already, a negative perspective I have about the yoga. Then she kept asking me until she said I pay you 50,000 if you want to do yoga. And I'm nope, I'm stubborn. I know that. I'm stubborn. And I said no, I don't want to do yoga. And then she kept asking until one day, one of my best friend, who's a yoga teacher, came to me asked me hey, you wanna come to my class? And I look at her is my boss asked you to ask me to do yoga? She not say yes or no. It's just she just smiling and then I went to her class. Oh my God, it was nightmare for me. Serious, really, oh my God, even touching my toe, everything is hurt. Everything is hurt in my body. Hurt on the physical part, but also it's so busy on my mind. It's so busy, and I'm judging it myself with all the negative things. I'm not good. I'm in the wrong places. I'm stupid. Why am I here? You have to do something much better outside than this room. And all that thing is really, you look stupid than the other people. People can do this and then you just a stupid person can't do touching your toe.
Everyone else is much better.
Oh my God, you seeing people easily touch their toes and you like this. Like that. And I'm oh man. And then when you fight with yourself inside and you become so tired. And that moment is was all right, I'm just give up with my mind. And then
just give up.
Yeah, I just give up and I'm okay, I'll do my best. I'm just gonna bend my knee, even my back is still round, but at least I can relax my shoulder. So for 13 minutes, I'm able to be at least calm myself a little bit and make my head a little bit soft. And I fall asleep in my savasana. And then after the class, I think I'm not realizing it. Everyone who was the class, only me and my friend who's the teacher in a class, and I'm looking around oh my God, where is the people? My friend was looking at me oh, how are you? And I'm in between good or bad. I'm not really accepting it. I was I feel good. It's just still, you're not gonna say okay, you feel good. No, you're still gonna be nah, something there. But it was inside of myself was it's basically, it's not yoga is bad, but we are the human being. We create the story in our head. So I always create my own story about the yoga before, with what I'm seeing, what I heard. And on that time was I'm not changing, I'm not right away changing the perspective or something on my head, but it's one thing is touched in my heart where it's just on that time I felt I have space for myself. I have space for myself. I have my own time for myself. The practice in yoga for me is just not finding myself, but more understanding yourself. Because we're looking at always, we put this word about I have to find myself. We find ourselves already, but the question is, do you understanding yourself or not? So through the yoga practice and yoga, the live my life in yoga way is like to understanding myself more better. Every day is always gonna be changing. Every day will be always a challenging. But how I can be understanding the challenge? The understanding and the challenge is to a better understanding in yourself. So the true yoga is not. I'm not looking for the alignment or something. What you, a lot of people are saying like, oh yeah, you're gonna be more aware. You're gonna be more like wise or something like that. But for me, it's like the first part is like to understanding it yourself deeper, and then from that side, you will see everything is from different perspective. We create the story in our head first before we understanding it something into our about something. We already create the story before we stepping it into something. So for me, it's the yoga thing is always remind me about that. It's like before I do something, I'm looking at inside first. Am I understanding it? It's like the thing, and then not judging it from my perspective, because we always gonna bring it into ourselves first and to seeing it something, and then you all get like already, oh, that's not good, even you're not good there yet. So through yoga is always give me a space to pull back, not always to push forward, always like, all right, do. For me, it's always the big challenge is how I can be pushed back, it's like a step back. Because like adrenaline, you're going to always have to be like, okay, push, do. But you're so afraid to be stepping back to create space, to be able to see. If you doesn't have the space, how you can see it? From the physical side is I got a lot benefit. The healthy side is like body is healthy, but for me is learning it to understanding it myself, learning it to respect myself, because with the respect into myself, I can be respect people in a genuine way. Whatever the genuine way you think about it is, this is perspective, like again, like about your perception.
What kind of advice would you give to people who kind of feel the same way that you felt?
Yeah.
That yoga is not for me, I'm not going to try it, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to find every excuse not to even, listen to anyone.
Yeah. Why you not just try once? After that, you can decide it. Because, like I said, if you're not stepping into that, you doesn't know what is that happen, that feel. You doesn't know is what in that room. If you're looking the room is like closed, you just like analyzing it from the outside. Oh, and that room gonna be like this. You not go in, you're not gonna see it. You have to go in to be
And experience
Yeah,
it.
that is the best. It's like if you're gonna explain to them like, okay, you're gonna get the benefit of this, they're not gonna be just like, you know what? Try one. After that, you can change your mind. I'm never push people to do something because I have a belief about I'm not gonna push people. I don't have the right to change people. They have to change from themselves.
Yes.
So I'm gonna create a bad karma if I do this, because if they changing because me, and then if the connection is being bad, and then they're back into the bad habit, so that is the karmic, my bad karmic.
Yes.
So they have to change. If they're willing to practice, they're willing to do some yoga, they have to try because they want it. Okay, because like if they just do it because someone pushed them, maybe in the end that's good, maybe not. But for me, it's the most is like I just always gonna say, just try it and see it.
You used to hate yoga at some point.
Yes.
And now Murni completed her 500 certification.
Yeah.
And she's been teaching for 6 years at Yoga Bar.
I have to jumping it with a lot of fear. First, I don't really want to do teaching, because first reason,
You want it or you didn't want
I
it?
don't want to do teaching, because like the most customer here is Western. Okay, so 8 years ago, it's like I'm not saying my English is better, but I have a broken English.
You have beautiful English.
No. But
Trust me.
when that time was like, again, one of the founder of Yoga Band give me a chance to be like teaching Introduction to Yoga 1. Even that was like for 6 months. He's like, okay, I give you 1 classes. And like, my English is not good. It's really the first reason I don't want to teaching is like, I'm so scared in the front people. Oh my God, it's dying. The first class, I'm more sweating than the student. Oh my God, it was so horrible. I remember that.
Did you use any notes when you were teaching?
In the beginning, it's like when I'm teaching Introduction to Yoga, I just write some notes, put aside. But on that time, because like you're teaching, you have to look in the note, and like you more become like nervous.
Yes.
It's like because like you have to remember about what is the note say, and like you say it to the student, and like oh my God, it's so first class. It's so because like really, it was one moment I have a blank moment trying to remember the name of the pose or how to cueing it. I was holding people more than trying breath. That was just like beginner class. Can you imagine you holding the poses for the beginner people, more than 10, they're dying first class. It was like, maybe until I'm dying, I'm still remember. I'm sweating like hell. After like few months, Introduction to Yoga, I said to myself, I have to learn more and more and more. So practice by myself a lot, and like myself practice like every day, and also going to classes, and then really listening a lot kind of like podcasts to be like, oh, the word they will say this is kind of this, and then watching a lot of YouTube from a lot of different teachers, and then how they teaching beginner and how they teaching is like more intermediate classes or advanced classes. Spoke a lot with my college, who's like a Indonesian local teacher. The first they really scare on the teaching is not the asana, the language.
Exactly.
The language is really the one is holding back. Still, until now, every time I'm stepping into the class, I'm nervous. Still, I'm really nervous. Go to the class and like, what I want to do today? How are they gonna be like? Okay, and I like when I get in, but when I set myself into the class, it's kind of like, okay, I'm in a surface. I don't worry about everything.
Tell me a little bit more about your personal practice, please.
My personal practice, like, I did a lot, but honestly, maybe this year I really slow down first because I'm doing a lot of different things this year. But before my second training, the 300 hours, I did a lot of self practice, almost every day, 6 hours a day. Yeah,
Do you guys believe 6 hours a day, regular practice, but you still need to work, take care of your family and of yourself? Like, how did you manage it?
It's the good thing. Okay,
6 hours together or 6 hours throughout the day?
Through a day. So like,
okay,
because like
because you still need to eat, right?
Yes, yeah, for sure. If I'm not eating, I'm not going to be able to practice. Basically, in the morning, I just do like a sun salutation, the classic sun salutation. And with the meditation, that is complete 1 hour. Wake up at 5, do practice, and then finish at around 6:15, and then 7 a.m. already in the office, and then do my work. If I want to do self practice, like also sometimes I go to the class. So 1 hour and a half and do class, rest, work, and jumping into the studio where it's empty, and then do my practice. Another 2 hours or 2.5 hours. And then afternoon, I do another 2 hours practice, and then rest.
So it's a beauty working in a yoga studio.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can have the
I'm lucky.
space.
The thing is like I'm lucky to work in a yoga brand where it's like they have a lot of studio. And sometimes it's empty, and then also my boss is give me the freedom. It's not tied me up with the role of the structure and the work thing. And like she said, like at least you done what you have to done in your workplace, and then whatever you want to do in the practice is your thing. You know, it's like you're coming in the morning like 7, you already start working, and you maybe go home a little bit late because you want to do practice. My way to see the practice is like it's not always doing the sequence. It's not my way to practice. I always start like do a little bit warm up, sun salutation. If I have some idea like the poses I want to do in that practice, like okay, I want to find or able to do some a little bit deep twist. Okay, I'm gonna do twist for maybe a month, twist and twist and twist, because that's the body, how the body is learn about it, like repetition, and that the body have to memorize everything. Then after that, maybe are changing into the different poses. Even when I did a lot of handstand, or like because like it was like obsessed also in handstand before, like now it's just like okay, handstand. Now I'm really obsessed with the handstand. That's why I get a lot of I broke my toes on the handstand practice. The first also I injured my lower back. That is like my body is broken, so I have a lot of adrenaline to do something. The body is still like okay, so strong, so into it in the practice asana. Then I like you got injured, like oh my god.
How people can prevent themselves from getting injured? Right now, especially, we have such great access to all kinds of poses, right? There's so many accounts on Instagram you can get inspired by. It becomes very dangerous because if you don't know how to do it properly, you can injure yourself.
Be humble to practicing basic pose first. This is what a lot of people not really get it right now, because they're just looking for the good poses, like I mean the challenging poses. When you want to do some kind of challenging pose, first step is you have to get in the solid into the basic foundation pose. First, you understanding you're downward dog. Second, you can be stable in your warrior 1 and warrior 2 and warrior 3. All these basic pose, because that is where is you seeing it your body. When you're downward dog, you see it's like how you put the weight in your hand and your feet. So you can check it in there. How you feel in your spine, because like you feel like your spine is like so still round, and you're pushing it to being like kind of like you keep your leg straight, and then you hurt yourself in your lower back and something you too much in the hamstring. So even on that, it's like, so you have to back into the basic first. No word or no nothing you can do to prevent yourself from the kind of like injure everything every time. Even the basic pose also you're gonna be get injured. But what is the thing is I always say to them is like, first, steady, slow down, no rush in the practice. Like because people like sometimes like I just want to get into this pose. Like hey man, it's like it's not the end of your life if you're not get into that process, you know. You're still able to do something else, you know. So that is always like okay, slowing down, create the steadiness, you know, stability in your practice. Because like if you're not stable, there is injury coming.
Yes.
Stability in the practice is really important. Then the other hand is just being humble to do some simple pose, because that is what yoga basically. I always say like building the practice, building the yoga practice, especially in asana practice, you have to looking it into the way how you build a house.
Okay.
If you want to build a house, you have to create a foundation first.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. If you build a house, you put the foundation. The foundation gonna be like maybe a small stone and then a big stone, maybe narrow, like a quite bit the shape of the stone, maybe like a quite bit angling different way, and then you put another thing in there. And so like this one step, small step or big step, and then small step, a big step, small step. So that's gonna create a solid foundation. Then you can build your house one step at a time. Then the house is gonna there.
Then handstands
Yeah,
were there on the top.
then handstand in there, and then like, first it's like okay, looking from like really simple thing, even like a simple thing, bring it back into how you breathe in and out first, even and like it just is sitting, this is already your yoga practice. You're understanding it there, and then how you see it, how you touch the floor, how you lengthen up, how you create the space in between your inhale and your exhale. How you create space in between your body and the floor, how you create space in between your vertebra. So that is like a little, like a small subtle thing in your movement in your body, and then it creates just like a shape and theory in your practice. I too much into like determination to get into crazy pose and end up a lot of injured. Hamstring, torn on my knee, broken toes, broken ankle, lower back problem, broken everything. Foundation is really important. The same thing when you're like seeing a bird. They're not right away gonna be fly. They have to stay on the nest so like how many days? Quite a bit long. Don't look in the bird, look in yourself. As a human.
Like a
baby. You're not gonna be like you born and then you're already able to dance or run and like something or jumping. No, you have to like really stepping it. You have to stay in your mom thing for 9 months first. Then you get here, and you have to be able on the something. Okay, and then you're moving your toes a little bit, your leg a little bit, your hand, and you're crying and everything. And then you start to like curl to the side, and then start like really moving a little bit. So that is what the thing is like. That's also always I'm saying it. Before you looking at too far, can you looking at yourself a little bit first? So bringing back the memories about your life from beginning, how you got into here, how you built your life into here. So that is what is gonna bring you into the practice, because when you're doing the practice in yoga, it's to bring it memorize about how you built your life. What happened a lot in this modern life, we're missing the moment, okay, when we ride it to somewhere. We're missing the moment, the progress, our practice, because we're in a rush to get into some poses. But what is the beauty of the practice? The beauty of the practice, you're seeing your own progress. You enjoy it. You're enjoying it, your own progress. You're looking at it, oh yeah, this and that. Oh yeah, in this moment I was like able to lift my toes even just as tiny. You're not just all like, okay, I can't do anything. All right, I need to do it like this. No, it's like, man, small thing you appreciate about yourself is gonna make a big difference, you know?
We just compare a lot of ourselves.
Exactly.
To
because
others.
you compare, you got injury. Because you're not practice
for yourself.
For yourself. Exactly. That is because you're like,
more.
oh, this person like doing the one handstand. Because you know you're not gonna be able to do that now, and you push yourself. I have to do it now, and you will get injured. What the point? It's not point on that.
As a yoga teacher, when you see such examples, when people pushing themselves more than they should, how are you addressing it?
As a teacher, you have to play around with your word about how you encourage people, in the same time how you pull back people from like a danger something. If I seeing that kind of thing, I always saying it, hey, maybe you need to step back a little bit, and then let's see how we can go into it with a safe way. You're not gonna cut them being like, oh, that's not right to do like this. But bring it in the different way how they're looking at. So you're not gonna put them down because like, oh, this is wrong. You're not gonna do this. But how you can really like playfulness play with that. All right, this pose is great, but let's see. This pose first as your foundation, how to get into it. Let's see this pose. And then when you bring it back a little bit about that, and then they're understanding it, you know. If you're saying like, okay, this is not great for your body, and then like it's that you already like punishing it, that person is not able to do something. As a teacher, you have to aware about the word you're saying it, how you addressing your word into someone, not make them feel like punishing it or like put them down.
Do you see any difference how people practiced 6 years ago and how they practice now?
Yes. 6 years ago, the class still small. It's like people really into it, the yoga. Spiritual way, intimacy is still there. More, I can feel more there on
Than
that
now.
moment. And now, I don't know, it's just like, it's just different. It's like people, even like I see a lot, it's like people just trying to kicking, even like I say like, hey, maybe slow down, get down, maybe using this prop to help you, like they just like, okay, I'm doing it, and like, all right, okay.
If you say so.
Yeah, I'm like, my term is sometimes in the class is like, I come to this person 3 times, but the 3 times they not listen, you're in your own race.
Yes.
I'm not gonna babysit you all the time, because other people need also like some intention, you know.
And maybe some people are more open for
Yes.
the guidance from you.
Exactly. So 6 years ago than now is it's different. The trend is different. The people, the vibe is also quite different. Everything is changed.
Yes. And right now at Yoga Barn, you have so many people coming in to practice.
Oh my
right?
God, this place.
How many studios do you have here?
9.
Nine spaces to
Yes.
practice.
6 big studio, where is there enough like 80, 70, 50 people,
Wow,
and
that's a lot.
3 small studio. Yeah, like a 2007 only this one, and oh no, 2007 only this studio. Only enough for like 20 people, 25.
Was it just one studio?
One studio
Wow, and it's grown to 9.
to 9 now.
That's
2007.
incredible.
Yes, it's insane.
And some of the events you have capacity for 150, like 100, 150 people.
That, yeah, for the dance we enough to like that studio enough for the 150 until like 170 people. Yeah,
It's huge.
it's huge. It's like, yeah, working here is sometimes like so grateful. Like the people like sometimes overwhelmed. Like I just need to hiding it. I don't want to being outside. If people looking at the yoga about the physical side, no. The deeper practice and about yoga is from the mental inside. It's really, that is what I find out. You can go into the gym or something to practice the physical side,
Yes.
but how you can really practicing about your mental way. This is the biggest challenge as a human, to looking at your mental health.
Do you meditate as well?
Yes, I did.
Is it your daily practice? Or
I did. I'm not really saying it. I have to be like every day. I have a bad moment and I don't want to be like, I don't want to do yoga. I don't want to do meditation. I do it like because I really need, and then I do it when I just like, okay, I'll do. It's not kind of like a mandatory. Your life is basically is meditation. If we think about meditation, is like about shut down your mind. It's not my way. How come you can shut down your mind? If you still alive, your mind will be always there. What I'm doing in my meditation is like, if I have a lot of things, a lot of thought, like one, like here, like a busy mind, I was like, okay, you there? I'm just gonna sit and I like look, and like, you know, accepting it, that mind, either good or bad in your mind, right? On that time, you be aware. So that is what meditation. Be aware of that, and then like when you're aware about what is here, but you're not following that mind, that thought, and then you become center, and that mind gonna be faded away by themselves without you push. Because when you say like I have to set down my mind, what happened with your body? The reaction of your body. So that is like, that's the way how I meditate. It's like embodying it, what you feel, accepting it, what you feel, what you think, bring it into your body. Even like if the sadness happen on your meditation, be okay with it. Accept that feeling, accept that thought, let it be there, but don't following it. If you feel pain and that sadness, let it, that pain on your body. This is what we call embodying it. When you embodying it, that become energy into your body, and then that is gonna help you being more stable. You know, because if we saying it, okay, I have to push this, let go this sadness, or let go this anger. Did you see the shape of the anger? Did you see the shape of the sadness? How are you gonna push that out? Energy you can't push out. Energy you have to be filled. With the feeling, the energy, you're embodying the energy, you're accepting it, the energy, the feeling, the sadness and everything, that into your body become you. Then the you is universe, and then become there. Then you there is like for whatever you need, you know. So that is like sometimes like when people say that you have to let go. I say that a lot, but when I say that, it's like, what I have to let go? Because I don't see that. What I felt is like sad, but I don't see the sadness. How are you gonna let go of that sadness? The way is to be able to, that is just to accepting it, that, and to bring it into yourself. They're like, I have the sadness. Create space for that, welcoming that into your life, welcoming into your body. Entertain them, same like your happiness. Then become equal, and then you have the space for them. So, because my always saying like, if I never felt the sadness, how I can feel the happiness. So it's always like always I'm saying it. When you say something really felt into your body, what the reaction of your body? It is create tension or create something. So that is the mind, because the body receive what the mind, the kind of like the nerve system sending it to you. So the body understanding more than your brain, your mind, basically. So with that, you have to be able to control your mind, basically. Before the mind control yourself, you always have a war inside. Even like a just tiny thing, it's always there, because there's this life. It's always built up with a black and white, and our life is in between, in a gray area. It's not in one side. The white, no. And the black, no. In between.
Murni, thank
Yes.
you so much for your time. It was
Thank you.
very beautiful knowing more about your life, knowing more about your perspective, your experience here at Yoga Barn in Bali. And I'm very grateful for our connection.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed this amazing interview, and if you're ever in Bali, in Ubud, come to Yoga Barn, check Murni's class. I'm sure you will love it. Please check more soul stories at almastory.com blog, and I hope to see you guys again very soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Murni.
Oh, thank you.